Thanks, Gary.
Welcome, Gary. Welcome, Gary. Gary, spend more time in events like this, my friend. This is where social media has gone, right? This is what we do. All those posts and screaming and commenting, that's good, but this is better, right?
Yeah.
She's in the studio, Gary. I'm sure you will one day. So welcome. But thanks for spreading the word. Keep spreading the word. You going, Joni. You take care, my friend. I should chase you up later.
Thank you for allowing me to be
Answer my call, Joni. Answer my call.
I don't have WhatsApp. I mean, like, I don't.
You only make WhatsApp calls, Joni. I can't call you normally.
My gosh. Okay.
Excellent. We'll talk later.
Thanks,
Thank you. Thanks, Joni.
Any, can I give a mention to Gary there just for his support and throughout this process, just to give a huge amount of respects to my friend, big love, matey. I appreciate you and all the support you've done. He messaged me this morning saying, I've shared it with my network. I've put it to my friends. Is there anything else I can do to help? So yeah, he's been a great supporter throughout and an all round great guy and a fantastic friend. So it's been a great support for me and just want to publicly announce, thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate you and yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you.
Awesome. We haven't met yet, Gary. I appreciate you too. More than you probably realize. Even though I say we'll talk about bestseller, this is my mission in life to make authors, to get the visibility and the fame and the legend status that they deserve. And Scott definitely deserves that for sure.
Yeah,
and, I won't sleep till tomorrow until we get to number one. Scott knows I'm being very honest. I didn't sleep last night until just to start the campaign. But literally we're going. Gladys, welcome. I'm about to pay for the Kindle version. Don't get a physical book. Yeah, forget it now. Gladys, don't get the physical book. It's $65. Don't get the physical book. Get the ebook, please. Today, get the ebook. The print book will come down to the normal price. Would you say, Scott? $8.88, something like that.
£8.88, correct.
Right, so that's $12. So literally tomorrow the print book will be normal price. We just don't want anyone getting the print book today. Just get the ebook and send us confirmation, please, Gladys. I would appreciate that. And I will thank you and I love you more. I mean that sincerely. Everyone who buys the book, I'm like, I love you. They're like, you don't read. I'm like, no, I really do. More than you ever realize, right? Thank you so much, Gladys. Glad you're here as well, of course. So, Scott, in the process of writing the book, we've got, let's say, the last 5 minutes. So,
yeah, sure.
What was your process? Are you write every so often type of person, or do you have a structure?
That's a good question. So for me, Annie, it was probably started about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years. It initially came from journaling. So I'm a big advocate of journaling. Always have, certainly since I found my life coach. So I've only really been starting to journal since about 2021. Something like that. And I was introduced to journaling. I started reading more into it, understanding how it works, sharing. I kind of saw my journal as my best friend. And I was able to share things within that. And then often the answers came to me. So there's a saying that all answers lay within. And what I've sometimes found, I wasn't particularly sleeping well. There was things bothering me after my father's death. I was going through some personal challenges and business challenges. And I was just journaling out. And I wouldn't say I spoke to anything or anyone, but we all have that little voice in our head. And that just sort of started writing, almost like a ghost writing to a degree, where it just felt like the energy came from me. And I started helping a family member. That's what probably triggered it very recently. It's my wife's uncle. And unfortunately, he's been diagnosed with motor neurons disease. And they've told him roughly how much time he has left. And I kind of started helping him, and he was asking me certain things, whether that be about property or how to get things in order. And he was fairly well prepared and had things in order, but it just made me reflect back inward of what I've got prepared and how ready am I, and just about my life. So the book had started organically creating itself through my journaling, about things and thoughts about my father, his death, and then my sister. I'd gone through some challenges after my father had died with his partner. So that triggered me to, again, get certain things in order with affairs and financials and various things practically. And I just kind of felt that there was something in me that I could use this knowledge, this experience to perhaps help others. So I just started creating initially just some notes and then it became a little bit of a guide. So it was almost like a to-do list. And then that to-do list grew into, is that something I can help people within my client coaching? So I've had a few clients where they were dealing with grief or a person dying because I'd had that experience. So the book kind of automatically started to grow in size. And then it was dealt with for about a year and a half. It was probably a bit like a personal journal that I then just left. And then obviously I met William Plange through the No Human is Useless, through the High Net Worth HNC group. William and I chatted about his conference. I obviously followed him and his book. And I said to him, I'd love to read it. How did it work? What did you do? And he said, you should try it sometime. And obviously then I realized that he and you were connected. And yeah, so then he invited me along to the conference and said, if you didn't have a book, do you have one? I said, well, actually, I've been working on one for probably a year and a half to 2 years now. And he said, well, would you like to get it finished in time for the conference? So that probably gave me the rocket, the impetus to give me the kick up the bum to actually start the book again and really turn it into something. So initially, I think it was probably going to be like a program or a training or some kind of coaching program where I could create something to help other people. And then I thought, well, actually, it's starting to feel like a book now because there's chapters and it's creating itself into different topics and different titles. And this couldn't just be a training course because, to coach somebody through this process would probably take months, if not longer. And so the book in itself was organic. You and I had our first conversation many months ago. And when we met, we talked about the process, what was required. I felt, I'll be honest, I had a little bit of probably imposter syndrome where I thought I'm not good enough or I can't write a book. And I was nervous and, kind of, oh, no, I'm not an author. And these people that write books, they're amazing and they're special and talented. And I have a family member, my sister-in-law, she's written 3 books and she's super, super clever, very talented, wrote some amazing stuff. And I'm kind of in awe of her and anyone else that's an author. So I'll be honest, I didn't really feel as though I could place myself on a bookshelf physiologically or physically or metaphorically. I didn't feel probably worthy to a degree. So there was a question of doubt. And I'll be honest, both yourself and William helped me with that in terms of the practical sense. But then people like my wife and friends like Gary and others who heard me talking about this book actually gave me the confidence and the self-belief to say, just go for it, if you believe you can help other people. So that again helped me. So I just do want to give a special mention to those people that have helped me along the way. My wife, Hurley, Gary, a friend called Alfie, those particularly have helped me along that way. But so then, yes, we spoke. I passed it to the editor. I'll be honest, I thought she was going to completely tear it apart and say, this is trash. It's terrible. This isn't a book. It's awful. How dare you? Never darken my door again. You're not an author. And,
yeah. I have to laugh. Yeah, she said quite the opposite.
Yeah, well,
exactly one of the best books I've ever read is what she said.
Well, thank you.
She came back and said book, right?
She said it was really good and wasn't many changes. And I was kind of like, have you read the right book? So yeah. So then you and I spoke again, and we talked further about the production. And then I kind of thought that sort of oh shit moment of this suddenly feels real. That actually, what was in here and the experience I've had is now in here, and it's come to physical pages. But again, I have to say again to both Alexis and then my wife for reading it and helping me read through it, for then condensing it to help me get it right. Then I'm truly grateful to Haley, my wife, and I'll be forever grateful for her in my life.
Yeah, no, you are one of those people now, Scott, whether you like it or not, mate. You're now one of the clever ones who writes books. Now, Jay, thank you so much, Jay. Jay says, congratulations, Thanks, best wishes on your author journey. Because it is an author journey. It's a process, right?
Yeah.
It's what's in your head. It goes on a computer somewhere, and then we'll turn it into a book. It sounds like magic, but it's work. It's work all the way, right? So like we talked about a couple of days ago, the weekend. You've read this book about 10 times since I got hold of it.
Yes.
You know, so I did make my authors read the book several times, and you know, and maybe many times we'll see something we didn't see before. You'd be surprised, my friend. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think it's the piece like Anywhere we said, I mentioned in the book about will you die with your music still inside you? And it's that question that I would put to everyone. If you believe there's something that's yearning or burning inside of you to do something to, you know, like you say, quit that job, take that relationship, ask that person to marry you, buy that ticket, take that flight journey, just do it. And for me, it was the book was, there's a part legacy there as well, I'll be honest, because now it's forever and my children will get to see that forever. It's not necessarily the kudos about the published author, although I'm confident and happy to stand on stage on Sunday. It won't faze me in that respect. I'll be proud to stand there and help other people, but ultimately it's leaving that legacy, it's leaving a mark, and it's it's something that will be there forever ultimately. So it's encapsulated within the life and the time scale of life that will happen. But so I'm truly grateful for that. And yes, I would urge anyone that's thinking of doing something, whether you're writing a book, singing a song, writing a poem, applying for that audition, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, totally agree.
My sister has joined me, Annie. Wow.
Welcome, Julie. Confirmation, Julie. And no one gets away from me.
So Annie, this is my sister.
Yes, I'm saying no, and no one gets away from me, Scott. Everyone, my family get berated as well. Where's come from? Welcome,
Thanks,
Julie.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for joining us from Facebook, especially. You know, so you're my Facebook friend of the day. My YouTube friends, and I said there are a few of them on right now. So please do like today's video, comment. Just say something. We're not tweaking on emojis. Say something, right? You know, and then subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'm sure you have, right? You know, and look, and those who are watching on replay, do connect with Scott. The link to buy the book is in the description below. Yeah, on YouTube, it's always below. I tell you something that's been amazing about this book and this bestseller, Scott. You know that, and thankfully I kept quiet. My distaste for those videos that I record on the phone that way, you know, long way. Portrait.
All right. Yes.
Because when you post them, they tend to be shorts. So normally I berate my friends, my clients. I tell them, don't send me one of those. Send me a landscape video. I want one that's wide that fits the whole screen. Much like this,
okay.
Right? But you sent me shorts, Scott. All of them were shorts.
That's but you know what?
I've had more views. Yes, your children. But no, I've had more views than ever. Thousands.
Wow.
That's nice. So what have we done? 4 videos?
Yes, 4 now. Yes.
If not 5, and when you open the box, now we'll talk about that in a minute, right?
5 videos.
Right. Yes. I've got thousands of views. Thousands. Wow. I don't respect views that much because I want people who actually engage and be like Jay, be more like Jay, man. I bought the book early this morning here in the US. Those who watch shows don't buy books, do they? I don't know. But you've had my YouTube numbers for sure, so I'll take it, right? That's a lesson for me. You know, don't berate those who send you shorts always. Anthony, welcome, my friends. I admire what it takes and the dedication and commitment to complete it. I have 7.7K worth of a book I started last year. I haven't touched it for months. Anthony, you know what to do, my friend. You know, he's clearly bugging you. Get back to writing, man. Get back to writing. Just write a bit. You know, look, as a publisher doing what I do, I think I will talk about this one day in my book to business room. You know, create a process. Half an hour a day is all you need. Half an hour. If it starts of your day, middle of your day, or end of your day, so that's half an hour. You know, I said I want to preach. Have a consistent routine. You could easily write once a week, or something like that, or twice a week, right? So it's better to have a bit where you add a bit every day. You know, some days you're going to add a lot more than half an hour. Other days you might just do the half an hour. But at least you know. And the reason I say all that is because I think it helps to keep in the flow. You know, it's even when I have people to write their books. the hardest thing is restarting after you stop. It's the hardest thing because you're thinking something else. Your mind is you've zoned out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do consistent almost every day, you stay in the zone.
On screen, any joiners on screen.
Who?
Let people see you while you're talking.
Oh yeah, they're looking at you. No, I'm quite. I can talk quite happily.
There he is.
No one needs to see me. I'm still here. Right? I'm like the ghost in the background. Yeah, Anthony. Get back to it, my friend. I hope you bought the books. Same as you, Mr. Sean. Glad you're here, my friend. Regard to my lab friend. I'm so glad you're here. So I've written 5 chapters so far of a plan of 18. That's pretty good going, right? That's good going. I'm sure As I said, so I need to stay focused. Exactly that. And as LinkedIn user says, a page a day method works around the busiest of schedules. And just a page a day. Some days you write a lot more than a page. But as long as you're moving forward, like I said, staying in the zone and keeping your mind, on the book, on the topic, on the book, things just flow much better. If you know better than we do, my friends, then please you're more than welcome to share with me. Like I said, I will discuss this in one of my book to business rooms, and you're welcome to come and share with us your experiences. Gladys, you're the best. Gladys, love you, Gladys. You are the best.
Thank you.
Yay! You cheered me up. Of course, Jay. I know you bought yours this morning. So thank you so much, my friend. So Jay says you can also look to your LinkedIn community for help in writing your book. I hear there's several strategies on the platform called Jay Pasqua. Him, yeah. It's also better than author, thanks to any. What's that?
Yes.
Right. Again, Jay has felt that any thunderstorm on book launch day.
I think for me, if I may share from my own personal experience, it being my debut, was about giving it a reason. So that although it was a pressure, that obviously knowing that Ghana was coming and the No Human is Useless conference, it gave me something to work towards. So what I would say is certainly anybody in there, Sean, and other apologies, it was somebody else, Anthony Austin, is give yourself a deadline. Not necessarily to put pressure on you, but just to at least give something over the hurdle. So it's a bit like running a marathon. If you know that marathon is coming and it's on a set date at a set time in a set month of the year, you will get up and you will start training. You will have no choice, my friend, or you will fail. So I felt that when the urgency of Ghana, and it wasn't an urgency as in I had to, but it was just a nice to have. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'd love to have my book there. I'd love to take it with me and share it, present it. I'm not really there to sell many books in Ghana. It was more just, it gave me a sense of purpose, a sense of reason to get back into my book, because I'll be honest, it probably sat there for several months, similarly to Anthony, and done absolutely nothing. And it was just kind of like a nice to have. I'll visit it as and when. So, but when I had that kind of, the flame, the fuel was burning and the flame was lit with under me, it was very much like right, we're getting this done. And I spent some Sundays, some weekends, and just thought, right, today's the day. And I just got myself in a very creative flow state, went for a nice walk, started thinking about the journey of the book, how it would feel, what it would look like, the beginning, the middle, and the end, because that's ultimately what there is. And I sat down, had some drinks and snacks, and just poured out of me. I just let it flow, really. There was no sense to it at the time, no logical order. I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. Kind of took a breather every so often and thought, wow, and then read it and then started to move things around. And it just suddenly became what we now call a book. So I've never imagined in my life that I could write a 74-page book, let alone, a 2-page book for a child. I didn't really think I had it in me. So give yourself a deadline, give yourself a commitment, or even if you say I'm going to produce this book and give it to my children for Christmas one year, or just give yourself a reason to do it, and you'll find that helps. That's what certainly helped with me anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well done for getting it finished. Some people freeze. LinkedIn user, I'm sure that's Natalie. I think it is. Yeah, it's Natalie. So I'm the LinkedIn user. LinkedIn platform goblins. So she says, There's a reason why they call me the LinkedIn. No, it's not that one. It's that one. There's a reason why they call me the LinkedIn audio godfather. Yes, Scott. It's all right to be recognized. It's fine, And I think being recognized, you say you and your humility with the book. You put the work in. I think I think in this day and age, we don't get credit for anything if we don't do something, right? You've written the book and you put the effort in. Again, no one will ever see when you're on a holiday, a couple of weeks ago, and then he's chasing you. You're chasing me. I'm like, go and relax, man. Go and relax. Go and do what you do on a holiday. Scott's like, no, is the book done yet? I got my laptop. I'm ready to. I'm like, here we go. So that gave me a chase up. I agree. But some people do freeze. They freeze instead, right? They literally, they lose the mojo that you need to carry on.
Yeah, and I felt that way. I lost mine for a while because it wasn't for anybody. It was for me. It wasn't like I was going to an event and I had to present it, or I was writing an essay paper that had to be in by a deadline, or it wasn't for any reason. And that's what I say, because there was no importance or significance behind it or priority. I just felt that it's just sitting there. So that fire in the belly came, and yes, for me, life rewards action takers is a saying of mine and many others. But it's a clear evidence that recently messaged a friend and said, I'm working on my book, I'm off to Ghana, busy with that, I've just been renovating a house, and they were just like, what? Oh, you don't do things by half. And I said, I've absolutely loved it. So it hasn't been stressful at all. I've loved the journey. Yes, it's been a few long nights and late evenings and early mornings, bed 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, because you seem to come alive at night and message me. I'm exhausted, and you're just like, let's do this and let's jump on
that. I'd love to apologize, but I can't. When it gets dark, I wake up. Daytime, I struggle. Daytime like this, and I'm like, I need a nap, and I tend to have a nap. But once it gets dark, maybe because the time is going, right?
That's your thing. That's your body clock. Yeah, absolutely. When it's all over, I'll have a very long sleep.
Tonight, I think you get to have a long sleep. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow.
Well, then I have to prepare for my flight, so we just go again, don't we? So September.
Visa is here. We're good to go. There's nothing. I think the last thing I have to do is book my car parking at Heathrow.
Ditto, but not Heathrow, because then I'm in the wrong airport.
It's a long way to come to your airport. I tell you that for nothing. So I ain't doing that. I'm going for Heathrow. It's still 5 hours away, by the way. So but I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too, right?
I am. Now, I mean, I was looking forward to both, but it was me, William was sort of saying, can I have your slides? Can you send me some music choices? When's your flight? And I was just like, yeah, I know that's important to you, but I've been asked to finish.
The book.
He's giving me these timescales. And then obviously Amazon said that your book won't be ready in time. And we were just like, no. So,
yes. I mean, you said that there was no stress, but the Amazon bit must be stressful, right?
It was, because it's like anything in life. You can't control anything. The only thing you can control are your thoughts. So when we got stressed, I think I sent you a message one day, didn't I? And I just said, you know what? Que sera, sera. What will be. If the books arrive in time, it's meant to be. If they don't, then it is what it is. I'll have a picture of it. We'll maybe have the proof. I can promote it at Ghana. Ultimately, they're not my audience. I'm not going there for that reason to make money or sell books. I'm there to support and help William. But at the same time, there is a platform and a stage there for me to give me the opportunity. But yeah, I just think I had the mindset of, if it arrives, it arrives. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So my visa was late. That wasn't coming. I've ordered some wear to wear on the stage, which has my brand, which is Man in the Mirror. So I have some polo shirts and caps and hats. And then there was the book, and everything was due either today or tomorrow. And then we fly 8 o'clock on Friday morning. So there was no time. There was literally no time. And I just said, you know what? If my visa turns up, it's meant to be, because without my visa, my passport's not here, my yellow fever, card's not there. I don't have any ID. My books aren't ready. So if again, the universe, whatever it is, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If I'm meant to go to Ghana, so be it. My books will arrive if they're meant to. My workwear will arrive if it's meant to. And so will my visa. And lo and behold, books arrived yesterday, 22 of them. There's another batch coming imminently. The visa arrived this morning in the post. And then my branded wear arrived about 3 o'clock today. So I am ready.
Yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. Jay, the drill sergeant, indeed. So but I think I enjoy that bit because there's a reason I do what I do, right? And that's why the Amazon story. Amazon can be a beast onto its own self, right? Yeah. Our stress was simply this, my friend, in case you're wondering. So we were ready to order the proof copies on the 2nd, I believe. Yes. So what was I tell you? What did the proof copies on the 2nd? And I almost fell off my chair when Amazon said it's going to come on the 9th. I'm like, what the hell? Because I was counting from the 9th to, it normally takes 10 days to get your first print copies. And after that, it's Amazon normally delivery. But the first batch is always 10 days. And then so me and Scott was sitting there, 8th comes, 9th comes, and then Scott gets a message saying it's not coming until the 15th. Scott's like, it's not gonna happen. I'm like, Scott, believe, Jay, I'm a drill sergeant, but with positivity. Someone told me today, be more positive. I'm like, you don't know how positive I am. You must not know. You haven't listened hard enough, right? I'm like, Scott, let's be hopeful because. Now, the real books might come before the print copy comes, and that's what we're looking at. And so when Scott said, what will be, I'm like, yeah, there's a good way of looking at it, but it's possible. And just our luck, Amazon said, yes, that's what's going to happen. And like, okay, if you say so, and that's what happened, right?
Absolutely, very bizarre.
Good for us. Well done, you. Yeah,
thank you.
We're hanging in there. It takes nerves of steel. Yeah, and because all along the way, I mean, even on the bestseller thing now, there's on the bestseller campaign. I was deeply upset this morning. Yes, I was on Amazon's case. I was on a chat with them saying and I've been on the chat with them a few times. I was on the chat with them a few days ago when I don't know when they wouldn't publish the book. So the book's there, and every so often it says publishing, and then suddenly it reverts back to no. I'm like, Amazon, stop doing this to us. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh, well, we don't like the spine. I'm like, okay, I don't like the spine either, so I'll change the spine then.
Yeah.
Now today, the categories I wanted for a bestseller were not showing. Amazon just didn't have activated. So I'm on the chat with Amazon again. They're like, no, the categories are there. They're definitely there. I'm like, show me. And they sent me a screenshot. I'm like, okay, fine. You said they're there, right? Okay, so I have to believe they're there. And but they just weren't showing. There was no on your book page. There's the categories are there underneath the description, underneath the book details, and there was nothing showing. I'm like, you can't get number one on no categories. I'm like, Scott, I'm worried. But I said no. But after I chatted with them, I went to sleep and I woke up, and we have 2 categories. We're meant to have 3 minimum, by the way. But that's I shan't cry. That's 2 is good enough for me, right? So, I think you have to be willing to deal with the stressful moments, and there'll be stressful moments somewhere. If it's not your side, right? The book it's in the publishing side. If not, it's in the delivery side, and so it goes, right?
Yeah, I think it's about resilience as well, and I wanted to enjoy the experience. I didn't want to put that pressure on me, and I think it was when I was on holiday. I was away in Bulgaria, and I messaged you and said, "Look, if it's ready, it's ready. If it's not, it's not." And you were like, "It will be," but by taking that pressure off me, then it just allowed me to be in a flow state anyway. So I thank you for that. But I was very much like, when the book's ready, it will be ready, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, really. So. Yes, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think resilience, persistence, self-discipline, just enabling yourself to go, right, I will not force yourself, but just put yourself in a state to enjoy the book process, really. And as I said, it's not necessarily a destination, although there is a destination because the book exists now. It's still an onward journey because it now means that that's come out of me. it's gone into the book, and now I can help hundreds, thousands, millions of people around the world. So that's the ongoing journey, and it will be forever. And even after my final chapter and I'm no longer here, hopefully the book will go on to help and serve many, many other people.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, so I'm trying to imagine what's been your best moment. I know there's a joy in starting a book. I think that there's a joy in finishing the book. There is a real joy in finishing the book. You're like, damn, I'm done finally. I'm not doing that again. And then suddenly you have to get book 2, right? And then of course along the way, I think there's receiving the proof. The first copy. So when you actually see your dream become a book in your hand, that's a great moment. I think.
Yeah. I think
the moment. This when you get the final version.
Yes, the moment for me was although it may not be the moment for you, because I remember it was the night that my son designed the front cover.
Okay, yeah. Jay understands that moment. When we're trying to say what to that clock problem.
Yeah. So it
was your moment.
Yes. So he designed the cover. So thanks to Bobby, special mention. Benji was my other son. He was kind of like, yeah, okay. I inputted by going, yeah, I agree. But Bobby sat and designed it. I gave him the brief. I know we had a few ideas about throwing it around, and you sent me some ideas, and it just didn't quite get me. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And I know it was very much the quill and the writing, and it was quite a formal legal, and it was in non-fiction. And I just said to Bobby, I've got this thing inside my head, son, and can you portray that into an image? Because he's very creative and he's very clever. And he just sort of went, tap, tap, tap. What, you mean like that, Dad? I just kind of went, exactly like that. Oh my, how did you do that? And he just, and I said, can you put the words and the writing, and can you do this? And he just came up with the idea. There was one person originally, and then there was many, and it was just talking about many souls around the world. And he just absolutely got me. So I sent it to you and said, there's the book, but we can't make it say 5 to 6. I want it to say 5:55 specifically, because that's an angel number for anyone that's a believer. And that's when it sent you into meltdown. But no, I think the moment that realization came was a more
really. Now Jay. No one knows. Jay is an expert designer. He does my covers, right?
Oh, okay.
You always feel you're close until, like you say, if my author doesn't feel what it is in their heart, then we have to go back to the drawing board, right?
Yes.
Me and Jay, sort of looking at each other, of course, the quills. There's so many things in this world that not many people know, right? I think one thing that I find amazing is that fonts are not universal. The fonts you get on Word, not the same fonts you get on Photoshop, not the same fonts you get on Canva, for example. And so it goes. So when it came to looking for that italics that you wanted, I couldn't do it. That was all Jay's thing, right?
Thank you, Jay.
So well done, Jay. Truly. But the clock thing, I just knew we had a problem, because you can't have exact time on clocks online.
And now,
but so determined to find them, determined to make it happen. We found a way between both of us to make it happen, and thank God for AI.
Yeah.
Even then, this wasn't just AI. This was ingenuity and trying using a combination of different things.
Yeah, I think I wanted it to look part fiction as well. I wanted it to stand out. I didn't want it to be so. Although it has that air of fiction about it, I quite liked that if it ever does sit on a physical bookshelf, that it will look like a fiction book, but actually there's a lot more behind it. So it's very similar to it kind of very mirrors who I am as a person in that respect. That although I like the humor and have fun, then as a life coach, you deal with some very serious life events that people find traumatic, but you're not there to mock them or humor them. But yeah, for me it was that moment. And then when my son filmed me, there's a video of it when he filmed me, and I said, tell me when you're ready, and he said, well, I'm already filming, Dad. I'm like, oh, okay. He's just so nonchalant about it and very relaxed. But that was the day I opened the first ever proof. and it just was that real physical copy of this version here. So the not for resale version, which is very special. So that's kind of one of one, but one of two. You have a copy and I have a copy. So,
yeah. I wait till you get really famous, and I'll sell mine.
Yeah.
That's how I am, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Make sure I sign it first.
Yeah, for sure. Now in Ghana, I make sure I bring my proof copy.
Yes.
Jose, super author, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Jose has a story to tell. It's a kidnapping story. As a world famous kidnapping story in the US. A big time company leader, and then they get to go kidnapped by terrorists and imprisoned as a terrorist. I'm giving you my surmise. But it's turned the story around, much like you, Scott. It uses pain to help others.
Yes.
So it's turned the story around to become an amazing leadership coach, and his book lives, right? His book lives now. I think all the authors should connect what they do on his platform, right? Jose, thank you for joining us, my friend. He does some live events on Mondays, talking about leadership, interview other people as well. So do connect with him. But now he's done the next best thing. He's found himself a celebrity PR expert. That's what you need, Scott. The one that gets him on TV and on big places, right? So expect to see Jose in bigger places as time goes on. It's an amazing thing he's done for sure.
Fantastic.
So it is amazing. So now, Cristiano, is that you? And he doesn't sleep at night. I don't sleep at night. No, I'm a night owl. I always have been, but now I get to live my night owlness to the full. I don't feel guilty. And before I used to have to not sleep at night and go to work and then be exhausted. But now I'm just like, nothing before 12, never. If I want a nap, I'm going to have a nap. That's what I do, right? So welcome, Cristiano. Cristiano, have you bought your book yet? Go and buy the book, please. Yeah. So again, there's been a lot of customer care calls in 2025. And the active digital anomalies and bugs occurring across the world. They really are, especially on LinkedIn. So many IoT devices, networks, and softwares are glitching. The technology, software, PR, and security services are working overtime this year. This was probably Natalie's conversation. Mm-hmm. I don't know, look, something's going wrong somewhere, but we're still surviving because we're human, right? That's the important thing, I think. Software can't stop us. It can hinder us. Don't get me wrong. But we are still pushing through even the challenges. My friends, so welcome, I live in. I see you as well. And he said, I'm not allergic to sleep. I just don't like sleeping at night. And as Scott said, when you got something in your brain that's nagging at you, I got two choices. Do I try and sleep and not sleep and still have the thing nagging in my brain, or do I just get up, do what I have to do, and then it's gone? Then I'm free. That's the way I tend to live. I like being free after a while. Now, Alevin, welcome. Say hello, and hope everything's going perfect. Of course it is. Now,
thanks, Alevin.
We're here. Scott's here. So Ghana awaits us. His book is here. The call is the official launch of the book. So now we're gonna spend our time talking to our friends and families to buy the book. Of course, if you haven't bought the book yet, my friends, the link is in the comments. If I'm going to send you the link to you, then just message me. I'll send you the link. The book is 99 cents, 77 pence in the UK. So less than $1, less than £1. Please go and buy the book. Now, if you buy the book, you'll be helping us to make the book more visible to other people who might actually benefit from the book, right? And so the more visibility, the higher the rank on Amazon, the more we'll be found in search, and people can buy the book. You can't buy a book you don't see on Amazon, can you? So help us to make the book more visible, so it can help more people. And that's what being a bestseller means. If you do buy the book, my friend, send us confirmation. That way we can add you to our prize draws. Scott, let's finish now with a recap of what the 9 prizes are, please, and then we can
Absolutely. No problem at all. So I'll keep it brief. So there are 9 prizes. Thank you for everyone that has bought the book already. I really appreciate you, genuinely, from my heart. Thank you so much for your support and your continued positive energy and your love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a whirlwind, but we got there. So yes, there are 9 prizes I'd like to give. So this is in the prize draw. So if you have bought the book, please send us confirmation, whether that be to any, myself, whether that be through a screen grab, WhatsApp, TikTok Messenger, whatever it might be. Send us proof of purchase that you've bought the book at 77 cents today, 77 pence today and 99 cents. And in return for that, we'll put you into a prize draw for the prizes. The first prize is 2 vouchers for £20 of your choice. It can be a book voucher, Amazon, Love to Shop, a high street store, whatever it might be in your part of the world, you can choose to have that voucher. So there'll be 2 draws for that, £20 each. Then you send us the details. We'll buy the code for you and send you the voucher with our compliments as a thank you for buying my book and supporting me. I'd like to give away 3 signed copies of my book, this one here. So I'll be sending you a personal message of thanks, posting you a copy to your home address, wherever you might be in the world, just to say thank you for believing in me and supporting me again. So you can chance to win 3 authors' signed copies. Please keep hold of them. They may become valuable one day. Then my friend and colleague of mine, Justin, he is a former NLP and life coach practitioner. He was on our last session. Unfortunately, couldn't make it today due to personal reasons, but he has sent me lots of support and love throughout the campaign. And today sent me a message saying he would like to offer somebody a 1-hour free coaching session, which will include a neuro-linguistic programming technique, which is NLP, or some kind of hypnotherapy or mentoring tech, whatever it might be. He would love to help somebody. So he'd like to give up 1 hour of his time as a value of around £100. So very kind of him to do that. It can be online on a Zoom, so you can be anywhere in the world. So that's good. And then the final one is from myself personally, where I'd like to give 3 of those gifts. So it's 3 hours worth of coaching with me to 3 separate people. So 3 1-hour sessions. So I'd like to give that to 3 individual people, whether that's a coaching, an NLP technique, some hypnotherapy, dealing with something, helping you with a wheel of life, setting some goals, something positive and practical going forward, or whether it's dealing with an anxiety, a trauma, whatever that might be. I know for sure I can help you with your onward journey as a thank you for buying my book. And that's it.
Awesome. And I gotta say, Scott, I'm not looking forward to the prize draw day. I used to look forward to them because it's a straightforward. All the names go into a wheel, spin the wheel, have a winner, and I'm like, bye. That's a winner. Scott, you deal with that, right? This time I'm gonna be doing nine draws, 9 spin the wheels. Okay, no, it's what we've got to do, Scott. No, you're being very generous. That's what I'll say for sure, right?
Thank you.
And but it is a thank you to all those who buy the book today. So you send us a screenshot, and we'll say we'd love to say thank you with a gift. That's what the prizes are really.
Mm-hmm.
So am I excited? I'm always excited, right? Let's see how it works, and if it works, I'll run with this. With my friends, especially those who have offerings, I can help people. So why not, right? That's what I'm taking away from this. This and it's okay to do shorts on YouTube, Scott. Yeah.
There we go. New lines.
He kills me. Thank you so much, my friend. Look, anyone who's here, anyone's watching on replay, I may well send you a DM to say goodbye to the book, right? Don't be a hater. If you bought the book already, just ignore the DM. I'll try and remember those who have, because many people have bought the book and sent us confirmation. Jay, I won't DM you to hassle you. I said, but I'm not really hassling. I just need. I'm trying to get as many purchases as I can today for Scott's book, right? That's what I'm trying to do. That's my job. That's my remit as a marketer. I've promised Scott he will be a bestseller, but it's been, we worked on this all day, Scott. If not in the last couple of days, right? Yes. The emails, the things like the DMs, the messages, the SMSs. That God, we've done so many things, right? Yeah. But it's not ended yet because we're not number one yet. We're getting there. And so, but our bestseller run finishes at midnight PST. So that's 8 a.m. our time. So don't be surprised, my friends, when I send you a message close to 8 a.m. in the morning and say, "There's a few minutes left. Go and buy the book now." I'll try not to do that. I'll try. Let's make Scott a bestseller long before that way I can actually go to sleep and enjoy my sleep in the morning. Right. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Scott, for an amazing.
Thank you.
If you want the link for the book, let me know. My YouTube friends, I love you. I really do. Facebook friends as well. So you're all here. So do like, subscribe, and comment, please. That way it's worth your while, right? And it's worth my while too. Now, everyone, we all need to watch ours. And the engagement and the subscribers on our YouTubes. If YouTube's going to pay us just to be there, I'll take it, right? That's what the watch hours means, Scott. That's what.
Okay.
Engagement. You have to get to 4,000 watch hours in a year,
right?
And then you also have to have, I think you need to have 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, okay.
On your channel.
Good luck with that.
And then you do what's called monetizing YouTube.
Yes.
What's fun?
Yeah.
So I look forward to that day, but that's a whole different business because something you have to turn your YouTube on, you have to focus on it, you have to create services on there, you have to create membership schemes, sell your merchandise. And I do want one of those, man in the mirror tops, by the way. And don't bring a small one, Scott. Don't bring a medium size. They ain't gonna fit, right?
You may have to fast for the next few days.
I'm not as big as I was, but 2XL will do. One XL at a push.
I can bring you a cap. That might fit.
Okay, all right, nice. Yeah, man in the mirror. So, who doesn't love branded gear? I do, right? Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Halloween, Christiana, Natalie. Thank you. Too many people to thank. Jay,
thank you, everyone.
Stanley, Gladys. You're all amazing people. I love you all. I really do. So when I type it, they think I'm joking, Scott. When I tell them, hopefully they hear me, right? All right, so I'm going to play Mike's song that he shared with us the other day to play us out. So I say, bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. If you haven't bought the book, go and buy the book. Go and buy the book. Take care.
Thanks again, everyone. I appreciate you. Buy the book. Please share the link. Let's push for hard for bestseller. I really appreciate it. Fingers crossed. And I love you lots. Thank you, Gary, Julie, Dave, for coming along, especially my friends and family. I love you lots, and I really appreciate it. So, and thank you to Annie.
Yeah, and your sons as well. No, your son, your genius video maker son.
Oh yeah, massive thanks to him and my wife Haley for her support and everyone. So there's probably too many thank yous, but genuinely I appreciate it for coming here today, especially to my son Bobby and Benji, and to my wife Haley for just generally putting up with me.
Yay! Well, your launch is done now, Scott. It's less pain for them now. We hope, apart from you going around the world talking about the book.
Yeah,
and the topic, right? Take care, everyone. Take care, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Cheers,
everyone.
Guys.
Right, let's press play.
Oh, so young as the new kid here, you found me sitting all alone. But hey, bro, wanna be my friend? That's how our story would begin. Through every doubt and lonely day, you found the words I couldn't say. Now the laughter fades but never dies. In the corners of my mind it stays. Your heart so big, your jokes so bad. The best friend that I ever had. Though cancer took you far too soon, I still hear echoes of your voice. Middle school was rough on us. Kids can bully so easily, but you'd crack wise and make me smile. Said forget them all, you're worth the while. Your humor sharp, your spirit bright. You made the darkness feel less tight. Now the laughter fades but never dies. In the corners of my mind it stays. Your heart so big, your jokes so bad. The best friend that I ever had. Though cancer took you far too soon, I still hear echoes of your voice. Years went by, we lost our way. Different towns, different days. Then that call came out of blue. Hey, remember me? Is it really you? We talked for hours, caught up fast. Grateful that we'd found our past. The diagnosis hit like stone. You faced it brave, but not alone. I watched you fight with all your might, still cracking jokes somehow just right. Your courage taught me how to be a better man eternally. Now the laughter fades but never dies. In the corners of my mind it stays. Your heart so big, your jokes so bad. The best friend that I ever had. Though cancer took you far too soon, I still hear echoes of your voice. Some friendships burn like morning dew, but ours was built on something true. So when the world gets dark and cold, I hear your voice, both young and old.